that summer split is already canceled. And that's because of COVID situation. That's a shame. To be honest, that's a shame. That could have been a season's worth of young players aspiring to become champions. And that's already half a year of their career gone. But then again, hindi naman mawawala ng mga tournaments eh. As of now, we are playing a tournament and ACEs are there. Pero mamaya na natin pag-usapan yan. We are already in the pick and ban phase for our first game.
It's gonna be really, really exciting. I mean, feeling ko, I feel so old by saying this, but I have been following collegiate like even way during the earlier days. So the fact that we're seeing a lot of these older faces back on the Rift for so long, we have a lot of fresh talent na ngayon, but it's very nostalgic for me. I feel old but nonetheless nostalgic.
Same. I mean, I see these players right now, and a lot of them are actually players that I've seen throughout my career as well, since kasama na ako sa mga old bloods ng LCL. And one person I would notice here is Zen sa Azure Eagles. And I'm a bad player in AcadArena, but Zen is one of those let's say one of those players from ADMU that has really stepped up in the scene. And fun fact, I know kapatid niya si Yume, if anybody remembers Yume from Mineski before. He was from UST as well, but never actually played in LCL. And Zen is the jungler for ADMU, one of the earliest players for ADMU as well. And alam mo, medyo kinabahan ako eh. Parang gusto ko ba talaga sabihin to? Pero sabi ni Zen, sabihin ko daw.
Okay.
Siya din daw yung pinaka-poging player sa buong ADMU. Okay, so ako, I fully support. Zen is my friend. Siya yung pinaka-poging player sa ADMU. But let's go to the game right now, Tio. We have 3 bans already for Azure Eagles. That's gonna be a Set, a Kiana, and a AcadArena. Meanwhile, sa bans naman ng ating mga new bloods from LG would be a Brom, Orn, and an Olaf. Hindi ko alam kung nagsispelling ba siya dito. Wait lang, siguraduhin lang natin. Hindi.
Sige.
Hindi sila nagsispelling kahit ano.
You know, what I'm further curious about is, since we haven't seen a lot of these older players in a while, like, how often have they been playing in that set? Kasi from the newer blood, probably, of course, that'll be expected na they might be very much aware of what's up and in the meta. Pero for the older players, like ano nga ba? Is it gonna be the same, or do they just revert to kung ano nga ba yung stock knowledge nila pagdating sa league?
I feel like a lot of these players experience this, right. But ito yun eh, parang you can be experienced but not as sharp as you were before. You can always use that knowledge that you've gained throughout the years, but that doesn't mean na kasing tulis ka ng mga young bloods na araw-araw pa rin naglalaro, na wala pang iniisip na trabaho or master's degree. And that's a big edge that the young bloods have. And not only that, the young bloods still have that competitive fire, yung gutom. And that's that we always talk about that. Na parang
Definitely.
A lot of young players, not only in LCL but also in big amateur leagues such as PPGL, a lot of young players are actually one of the players, or most of the players ng bata are the ones that carry. Because they have this edge, this motivation to do good kasi they're starting their career. But going back to this game, we're already in our second picking phase. Actually, no, first picking phase of the game, and we already see an Ezreal for the side of Azure Eagles and a Misfortune pick for LG Esports. What can you say about this?
I mean, Ezreal as well as a Misfortune. Honestly, especially coming in from the red side, I'm not really as surprised. Misfortune and Sejuani have been rising in popularity regardless of what leagues you watch. And even without tuning into any of these leagues, Misfortune and Sejuani as is makes a BEA beautiful combo should they be able to pull that off. Imagine all that crowd control followed up by a nice ultimate coming in from a Misfortune. That's just asking for a lot of pain.
Yeah, but going to the side of Azure Eagles, we see a lot of CC as well in the form of an Alistar. Meanwhile, a lot of damage as well coming in from this Graves. And this Graves will be definitely going to the hands of Zen from the side of Azure Eagles. Meanwhile, for LG Esports, they do blind pick this LeBlanc. This is a very scary, I mean, not scary, but ballsy pick. Blind picking LeBlanc, there's a lot of options to counter this champion now, but they do ban out that Mordekaiser. Then meanwhile for LG, actually for Azure Eagles, they banned that Aatrox as well.
of course, will be the Renekton as the final ban out as well. Want to take that away from Fupi. Ah, man. I'm really wondering, though, given that the LeBlanc was shown earlier on, how do we dub these? Okay, yeah, we could just dub them by their older names. The Azure Eagles, aka the past, LG Esports, the present, or the current. So, nonetheless, we're heading into the second pick phase for LG Esports. It will be the Nami. Okay. So, a lot of ways they could set up here so far. Just that Sejuani and Nami alone is going to be explosive.
Yeah, and Sejuani and Nami, that's really a lot of CC. But Theo, might I just ask, are you inside the lobby as well? Are you watching from the lobby, spectate lobby?
I'm watching both ways. I'm looking at the live draft as well as what is going on.
Oh, yeah, and because I think I might be delayed, I'm not inside the lobby. That is
okay.
a big mistake. I am watching in the stream right now. Let me log in my Garena.
You know what? No. I got you, man. I will. This is the funny little previews that everybody gets behind the scenes when you're working on an online broadcast. Don't worry, I got you, fam. We're friends on Discord, aren't we?
You know what? Sure.
I'll just stream the game to you right on Discord, just so that we're looking at the same
screen. Yes. Thank you, Theo.
And right now, I'm probably cringing, like, what the hell, Womi? But yeah,
I am sorry. This is something that I didn't expect. So I will go to Discord right now, Theo. Feel free to call me. Thank you very much. Going back to the game, we are on the final. We have the final spread of champions for the side of Azure Eagles. We have a Lux in the mid lane. Actually, wait. Yeah, a Lux in the mid lane and then an Alistar support. So Lux versus LeBlanc, that's something that we see a lot. And Lux has been not the best counter pick for the LeBlanc, pero it's something that people pick. Especially if you get that binding against the LeBlanc, it's gonna be easy to kill that LeBlanc. But again, responding to that Lux pick is a Camille. And Camille is one of those solid carries na talagang nakakakuha ng mga members na hindi mobile or hindi masyadong nakakalakad, walang dash or flash lang inaasahan. And that's exactly what Lux is.
Okay. I will be sending you a link to a Discord you can enter, my friend, so that you could witness all the action that is going to be unfolding, just so that we're on the same page.
All right. I appreciate that. So again, for all our viewers over here right now, you're watching the first game of our Starforge homecoming between Azure Eagles and LG Esports, both from Ateneo de Manila, and Azure Eagles is the past team for Ateneo, and LG Esports is the new bloods, and they're gonna battle it off not just dahil trip lang, but for the benefit of Philippine Heart Association, or basta sa Philippine Heart something, and it's always gonna go for charity. And hashtag not just play talaga tayo dito. It's about helping our community and bringing you guys esports action even inside this whole pandemic. And of course, abangan nyo mamaya, there will be podcasts as well, and meron tayong mga special guests. And of course, shout out to everyone who's watching right now. And may mga naghahanap kay Mikos from Ateneo, and Mikos is one of those supports. I remember him for his Vericos and other Hook champions. I siguro yun yung pinaka na masasabi ko tungkol kay Mikos. But let's see. Hindi ko alam kung bakit wala si Mikos, but let's just watch kung anong madadala ng Ateneo. Actually, no, ng Azure Eagles ngayon. But right now, I will be looking for your Discord link.
Yes, so go check out your Discord right now. I messaged you the link. I'm already streaming the game so that you can check it out as well. But while you do that, I'll keep our audience busy. I would say not really busy, but I'll give you guys an update on what you can expect for today. So if you guys haven't checked out the program yet, currently ongoing right now are our homecoming show matches. We have a total of 3, which will be between ADMU, UPD, as well as UST. So the first one ongoing right now is Azure Eagles versus LG Esports, followed by that will be our UPD show match between Batch 17 and Batch 20 of Oblation Esports. And of course, to wrap things up for our third homecoming show match, it will be Batch 15 versus Batch 19 of the Teletigers. I am so looking forward to that. And after our three homecoming show matches, we have a podcast, as we mentioned, which will be about the effects of COVID-19 to esports. And joining us for that will be from Liab Esports Cabbage, as well as Gerald Magic Sticks over Pena, and of course our EAA director Metanoia Pod. And to top that all off, we'll be having our community show match, which you guys are more than open to joining. For more details on that, we'll be talking about that a little bit more, but be sure to stay tuned because registration will be up once we drop those further details.
Yep, and nabasa ko din lang sa comments, strike 2 na daw ako. I definitely would not want a strike 3. So I'm gonna stay careful for your next few games. But of course, speaking of next few games, sinabi mo na rin sa akin, Theo, that you're very excited for for Game 3, which is UST. And hindi ko alam kung paano ako magkakast mamaya habang naglalaro. Yan yung pinaka-problema ko. Paano kaya natin gagawin yon? May papasok ba para iligtas yung araw?
Magsasummoning jutsu ako.
Magsasummoning jutsu ba tayo? Alright, but let's talk about the game a little bit.
Yes, let's.
Usapan na rin natin yung mga agenda natin for today, which is yung podcast and other games as well. On the side of Azure Eagles, we're seeing a Maokai on the top lane, a Graves in the jungle, a mid lane Lux, and for the bottom lane duo would be the Ezreal and an Alistar. Against them would be LG Esports, running a Camille on the top lane, a Sejuani in the jungle, LeBlanc on the mid lane, Misfortune on the bot lane, and Nami as a support. Looking at the mid lane matchup, we have a LeBlanc and a Lux. So what do you think could happen and yung potential na mangyari dito ng mga outplays?
I mean, Lux, it's quite a bit of safety, Distancia Amigo, going up against that LeBlanc. Although, if you think about it, with the LeBlanc combined with the Camille, that's a lot of ground that they can cover, both two very mobile champions. So it does make me wonder whether or not our newer generation of players from ADMU, namely the LG Esports, if we're going to be seeing a lot of that going on the map. Ah, man.
Yeah, and speaking of which, we do have an Alistar on the support of AZE, and one thing that we always talk about when we talk about experience is the tower dives. It's something that you work as a team. And for AZE, since medyo matagal naman na sila nag-exist and they had their fair share of playing time, I feel like that this Alistar can serve well in diving turrets early on. And you're against a Misfortune in Nami. They're not exactly as mobile as you want them to be. So I think it's perfect for AZE to abuse that fact and try to enter this bot lane again and again. But again, the LeBlanc is a mobile champion. Camille as well. They can definitely teleport to that bot lane and just reverse. Like, maglalapag sila ng Uno reverse card doon para lang ma-counter yung possible dive na yun. But I think we are loaded already in the Rift. We're just waiting for current modifications to it before we actually stream it. I'm not quite sure.
Yep. The magic of the behind the scenes. Okay, so we are going to head straight into it. Well, I don't want to get our audience from waiting any further. On to the Rift we go. Nostalgia is kicking in as we witness our first homecoming show match of the day. Once again, it is Ateneo de Manila University's Azure Eagles versus LG Esports. The past and the present, the old and the new, the veterans versus the new blood. We could say that.
I guess we could say that, but looking at this, we do see them forming into, let's say, a window-type defensive start. Nobody is opting for a 5v5 early on, and somehow feels like there's tension. I'm not quite sure about the politics of ADMU, but I feel tension. I feel like this isn't just a for-fun game. There's literally pride and glory on the line for this one. But of course, hindi lang naman pride and glory to. everything that we do today will be going towards the Philippine Heart Center. Ha! I got it right this time. Na
Okay.
mapupunta tayo sa... And it's always gonna help the Philippine Heart Center. And as of now, not much really of an action, but what do you expect in this early games? Tingin mo ba magiging pasabog agad to? O sa tingin mo ba mamaya pang mid-game?
Oh man, I mean, just looking at the comps that we have. Wait, let me just fix things on my end here real quick. I don't know, man. Okay, give me one moment. Let me just fix my windows here.
Yeah, it's alright, but as we see, Zen starts with the red buff. Then meanwhile, John 1 as well starts with... Actually, no, he starts with the blue buff. So magkakasabay sila dito sa top lane except siguro may red buff advantage to si Graves if ever magkita sila. But I don't see them looking at each other yet. Medyo kakaiba yung pattern ni Zen jungle ngayon. It's something too avant-garde for me to understand as a support main. But looking at this matchup in the top lane, we have a Camille and a Maokai. Medyo mahihirapan siguro si Maokai makipag-trade dito unless AZE pulls up a veteran move.
Okay, there we go. I should be good now. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, also a little bit of a fun fact. It seems that as far as this Lux pick goes, again, it goes back to our question as to whether or not we'll be seeing, especially from the veterans, if it'll be adjustments or will they stick to what they know, or some of the picks that might have been in meta during their time that they used a lot. But for Tenno's case,
oh no,
like
2v1 already. The top lane, Nestle might be in trouble. The hookshot will be there to save his life, and it will be enough. No flash is burned in the top lane. Sorry I cut you over, but going back to the point to you.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that was pretty much it. So, as far as what we're seeing here, it looks like Tenno is going to be sticking to a pocket pick, which is the Lux that we're seeing in the game right now. And yeah, luckily, a little bit of save there again. Man,
Pinalikan. Zen wants this Maokai to have a fun lane. Sinabi ko kanina that this Camille will make it hard for the Maokai, but looks like Zen wants a different story for that top lane. But going to the bot lane right now, medyo nag-hover si Sejuani between that mid lane and bot lane, so we might see some action over there.
Ooh, are we though? We do see some pinks coming down that bot lane. However, if you're going to look at how things are going on, Azure Eagles are pushed a bit under turret, so that doesn't really leave us much opportunity. It will be a recall instead that will come in from John 1.
Yeah, and look at Nestle right now. This could have been a losing lane for Fupi, but then again, Zen with 2 ganks within the first 3 minutes of the game, that just changed the whole early game for their top laner. And this is how junglers impact the game early. It doesn't matter even if you don't get that kill. The very fact that he put Nestle on 1/4 HP, or at least 1/3 of his HP, that was something that gave Fupi the freedom to just shove his lane.
Exactly, and that just really goes to show knowing where they need to send their priorities as to kind of help relieve whatever pressure could happen as a result of the matchups that we're seeing in game. And I'm not really as surprised. I think when you're entering these type of show matches, or these homecoming show matches especially, I think expectation would normally lean towards the newer players just because they are still up and active in competing. But then again, at the same time, you have to remember here that particularly for the Azure Eagles, these guys were very consistent in their placements back when they were competing in the LCL. In fact, they would usually find themselves in the higher seats of the Metro East conferences. So if you recall, back then we were divided into like a total of 6 conferences, if I'm not mistaken. So Metro East was always going to be ADMU, as you see, one of the higher ranking during the Azure Eagles days.
Yeah, and during the Azure Eagles days, we can't discuss AZE without discussing Mikos as well. And sadly, wala si Mikos sa game na to, but this is Mikos is someone synonymous with AZE, I would
definitely
say. And looking back, Mikos also played in Pro Gaming Series, which was the professional gaming series at that time. And if ngayon parang PPGL na lang yung parang inaabangan nating big tournament,
Right.
PGS was that thing before.
Yeah, and it's really been great to see how over the years we've seen a lot of collegiate talent make their transition from these collegiate tournaments going all the way up until pro. I mean, before, like you mentioned, we have the likes of Mikos. Later on, we're going to be seeing somebody from UST as well that transitioned to pro. Was that announced? Yeah, you guys announced that already, Raze.
Yeah,
Gonna
Rage will be
this match
playing.
as well. But we see a lot more players these days make that jump from collegiate to pro, a lot of which have already made their, would I say debut? Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
debut
I
as
would.
professional players in the PPGL.
Yeah, but looking at that environment, LCL, collegiate in general, basically, how it's, let's say, proving grounds or something that would forge you into eventually getting a pro, it's not always like that. And I love how Esports AcadArena noticed that na kailangan meron kang environment na parang, let's say, amateur team environment, and that's why ACES exist. And habang wala pa masyadong action na nagaganap dito sa laro, let's talk about ACES. ACES is an amateur tournament open for anyone. Yes, anyone. You don't have to be in the same college. Pero teka lang, ayaw pala nila ako magsalita. Laban na agad dito sa mid lane and the stun hits on Tenno. That's gonna be a barrier burn, but Zen is there as well. No snare will be landing, pero ayan pa lang pala. As looks like Sejuani will be the first blood of this game. LeBlanc wants blood, pero hindi siya makakapatay. That distortion won't be enough as first blood goes to AZE.
Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate right there, especially since it was initially John 1 as well as Couch that was on Tenno. But turnaround with the Graves being able to come in. John 1 was just kind of left for there. I think Couch was trying to look for an angle where he could try to get more damage onto Tenno, but it just didn't work out. John 1 took a lot of the bulk of that damage, and there you go, first blood. Just going to LGE. Oh, sorry, first blood going to the Azure Eagles. Although, as the cherry on top, they also get a Dragon Infernal Drake, in fact. So that's just going to be all the more beautiful for our veteran players from ADMU.
Yeah, but 8 minutes in, that Infernal Drake is their only clear lead as of now. 500, actually no, 400 is the only goal lead that they have, and it stems from the first blood. Farm-wise and laning-wise, I would say that it's even. LG is definitely still... I would say that's still raging to get an edge on this game, and Camille does scale better than this Maokai, so we gotta wait a little bit for... I think this is a slow boil for LG. You have a Camille in the top lane, and team fighting talaga ang prowess ng kanilang bot lane duo.
For sure. And I gotta say though, I am pleasantly surprised that Azure Eagles, they still got their mojo, at least so far from the first 8 minutes of the game that we're seeing. Things are dead even. I'm not gonna lie, my expectation is always gonna be when you're seeing these veterans versus new blood that the new blood will have some sort of advantage. But it's clearly Azure Eagles.
And it's clearly Zen's mission to give Nestle a hard time as he flashes back to the tower, but the R will be enough to give him another kill. 2-0, that's the score for now. AZE gets another kill.
And as we can see, that is just the long-term benefit of I'm a bad player, getting that investment towards the top side earlier on, putting that pressure onto Nestle within the first few minutes, and it's finally coming into fruition for these guys as come a third time towards that top lane, they are able to take down Nestle. So this is a great build-up so far for the Azure Eagles.
Yeah, and going back nga dito sa bot lane, medyo nangangati na ako. I want this bot lane to have a little bit more action. Last time we've seen action is when Hunter went in for the pulverized combo. Other than that, we haven't seen a misfortune bullet time or a bubble landing. It's always just poke there, poke this. I mean, no offense, but this is a show match. I mean, pag NBA All-Star, you see people going all out. But again, it's different for AZE and LG. I feel a little bit of tension. I feel like they really want to win this.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you want to try to school the, at least for the newer players. You think they'd be schooling the older players, but nope. Looks like the older players wanting to school the newer bloods. You know, we're the one that started the legacy, but we still got it. At least that's the message that I'm looking at from Azure Eagles.
Yeah, but look at this Camille fighting this Maokai 1v1, but Sejuani is there. The ultimate won't land, but the flash will be burned. Great flash coming in from Fupi as he saves his own life with it.
Yeah, that was absolutely scary. Had that ultimate landed onto the Maokai, that could have easily been followed up with a Hextech ultimatum coming in from Nestle. But luckily, that flash rather, just the right angle, got out of there in the nick of time. Man, where did the flush come from anyway?
May mga toilet adventures ata tayo ngayon sa... O nga pala, ingat-ingat tayo dito para sa mga viewers natin. Marami sa atin mga nakapag-hoard. Swerte tayo. Nakapag-hoard tayo ng pagkain. Pero tingnan nyo yung expiration date. Unahin nyo yung mga pagkain na mauuna mag-expire. Yung mga delata, makakaantay yan. Mga noodles, makakaantay yan. Kasi nagkaroon ako ng bad experience eh. May barbecue sauce akong kinain na hindi pala dapat, hindi na dapat kainin. And medyo doon ko nakita, ang dami kong na-burn na flush.
Oh man, you just had to go there.
Wala pa ng mga action na nagaganap ngayon. But of course, Dragon will be... Actually, nakuha na ba yung second Dragon? But no, Dragon will be spawning soon. Ayun, medyo nag-take in yung timer sa utak ko. Sabi ko, wait lang parang kanina pa yung Dragon. But ayun na nga yung notification natin. Malapit na lumabas yung Dragon. They're pinging this LeBlanc. They know they're there. And I do love the warding coming in from both sides of this game. Ang ganda ng vision control ng dalawa. And this goes to show how both the junglers know how to play this game.
You know, one thing that actually makes me curious, because I think with these homecoming games, we have a case-to-case basis between what the histories are between these universities. The interesting thing is that, now that I think about it, as far as who has seen a lot more success in collegiate, I would, between these two at least, between Azure Eagles as well as LG Esports, I would probably give it to Azure Eagles a bit more, just because, like I said, back when it was LCL, back in the Metro East conferences, Azure Eagles always had those high placements in the rankings, while as opposed to LG Esports, we're seeing some great build-up as far as an organization. Competitively, that's what I'm still looking for.
Yeah, this is what I want to talk about then. Before, it wasn't as, let's say, organized as it is na ngayon. Ang ganda ng ginagawa ng LG, pero mamaya na natin pag-usapan yan. The Mountain Drake is already 3/4 in HP, and AZE has established control over the Dragon Pit. But 4 people, the tidal wave is called, but great snare, a 3-man pulverize, and looks like this is gonna be the end for LG for now, and that's gonna be I'm a bad player, Zen getting another kill. Great snare, great pulverize, and they're rewarded with a Mountain Drake.
Holy cow, that counter from the Alistar was the make or break moment. Unfortunately for LG Esports, they weren't able to capitalize on that set because of the cancellation. And yeah, again, just full benefits for Azure Eagles. They get the kills, they get another dragon on top of that. The stars are aligning for them, no pun intended to our title right now.
Oh man, but going back to the point, LG Esports has been a solid organization under, let's say, Ateneo, and I'm really happy to see that after AZE, LG has picked up esports into making it a real thing inside the university, and it's necessary steps to take, because going at a rugged basta may team tas laban-laban na would only go so far. It could only go so far. And having this official things inside the university would always help LG Esports to get more players, cultivate better players. And throughout the years, it's gonna be a big investment. And soon, they might even get, let's say, sabihin natin by 2 years from now, 3 years from now, there's this phenom who enrolls in Ateneo.
Right.
With a healthy environment, they could turn that already good player into, let's say, back-to-back championship caliber player.
Exactly. And in addition to that, you could really tell that the structure for LG Esports is looking pretty good. In addition, just a little bit of a fact, LG Esports actually has 2 teams going into this. So we have LG Esports' Shock as well as Frost. So at least for this particular homecoming show match that we have right now, it's actually Shock that is playing right now. And so you might be wondering, is Frost going to be playing? So Frost might not be playing the homecoming, but they will be actually playing in our Alliance Invitational, which is happening tomorrow. So how they determined this was actually through a best of 3.
I see. That's actually fair. I mean, great snare, but the distortion, will it be enough? Flashes are burned, but that's gonna be another kill coming in for Zen. My God, these allergies! Tumama yung snare! That was something else. At may distortion available eh. Hindi ako may impress kung sakaling wala ng distortion, pero meron eh. That was a great snare coming in from Tenno.
Oof, man. Looking at how this has been playing out so far, the Azure Eagles have been in total command out there, and looks like, okay, Tenno will be forced to back away by the Sejuani. No more further damage onto that turret, but yeah, still waiting for that window of opportunity for LG Esports. Again, they have a composition that is perfect for those team fights. Sure, they could probably afford to take a few hits this earlier on, but come the mid game, I'm really hoping that they could pull themselves together to at least maximize their composition and look for those sets, look for those team fights that could hopefully go into their favor. Assuming that, okay.
Oh no, that's a great ultimate coming in from John 1, but the cleansing barrier, will it be enough though? The ignite will take down as Couch gets a kill on Tenno. But going back dun sa official na pinag-usapan natin kanina, I just heard word na hindi pa pala sila official yet, but there are admins helping them out. But again, admins helping you out is already a great thing because that means your admins understand what the importance of esports is for the students over there in Ateneo. And very much parang saludo sa mga players ng LG right now, especially to their officers. But the flash will be burned as Poopy gets another kill. Professor nyo yan, bawal nyo patayin. But for real, Poopy is a professor in Ateneo. So if professor mo talaga siya, tapos sinabihan ka na ibabagsak ka pagka pinatay mo siya sa laro to. I mean, what can you do? What can you do?
Exactly, man. Talking about what happened.
Oh man, what?
You know what? Let's check this out first.
Yeah, I think he just lagged over there, but Cavalry looks to be in trouble as well. Swag Dab Dab will not be getting that kill as Poopy gets his second kill of the game, but I feel like naglag yung MF doon. Nakatayo lang siya. It's either naglag siya or inaccept na lang yun na mamamatay siya because that was an Alistair. With a pulverize and you already caught under turret. So, I mean, let's just submit. I guess we'll die.
And accepts his fate. Ooh, the damage onto that LeBlanc. Unfortunately, the burst won't quite be enough that will allow Couch to just casually walk his way out of there. But yeah, looks like we are, at least from what we saw in the mid lane early, we are seeing signs of life. But
oh no, Hextech ultimatum. There's no way out for Zen. 1v1 is the way, pero 2v2 pala ang hanap. John 1 will be trying to get this kill as the shutdown goes to the jungler. 4-1-2, the first death for Zen right now, 18 minutes inside the game.
Ooh, and okay, again, the pickups are coming off. Looks like John 1 starting to get some good work for Azure. Oh, sorry, for LG Esports rather, to try to get themselves back on their feet. Goal difference not really as hefty still, so this is workable for LG Esports in which case. But yeah, with the Sejuani being all over the map, only a matter of time, hopefully, if this continues.
And tama yung pakiramdam ko, Theo. Maraming ang tension yung match na to. It's not just konti, marami. They want to win this. Because apparently, AZE won against Shock before. Okay. And made it all the way to the finals, then lost to Frost. And then now, Shock this time, natalo nila yung Frost na supposed Team A. So now, medyo revenge match tong mangyayari. But then again, LeBlanc secures that dragon, and that's gonna be their first Drake of the game, an Ocean Drake, and buti na lang nakuha nila yon because securing third Drake is already pushing it towards that soul. Medyo delikado na yon for the side of LG if hindi nila nakuha.
Definitely, at least LG, we are starting to see them. It's not the same one-sided trades that we saw earlier out, but there you go, the set coming in from John.
Oh no, Tenno looks to be in trouble as ADC 1-2-3 gets that kill. No MF ult as he used it to clear the wave. But the Camille is there, landing a stun on Hunter. The ult is called. Medyo kukunat siya pero hindi ka na nililigtas. True damage ang magagawa ni Nestle, and that's gonna be a kill for the Camille.
This is what I'm talking about. LG Esports, sure, we can take a few hits in that earlier on, but the mid game, once we come together, is when they will truly shine. So just really looking good, slowly starting to close out that gap. Now I'm really looking to see as to how Azure Eagles will respond to this.
Yeah, and I'm quite curious then paano nila gagamitin yung scaling to their favor because this Camille already has that Triforce and is building towards that Blade of the Ruined King. And pag-usapan natin ng konti yung Bladed Ruin King right now. Bork is one of those items right now na laging sinaspam on almost every fighter. You see it on Irelia, you see it on Camille. And those are hard carry top laners, I would say. And Nestle, 1-2-1 siya sa ngayon, but that's not a big of a difference. Pero mukhang gagawin siyang 1-3-1. This is a 2v1. Medyo maliit ang kanyang chance at this part of the game as Poopy secures another kill. Medyo late na naman si Sejuani doon. Zen, medyo mainit siya dito kay Nestle.
Yes. I mean, if you look at a lot of the kill... Oh, wait a minute.
Oh no, that's a spicy pick-off coming in from Couch, but that's gonna be a two-man snare. Mukhang konti na ng buhay ni Couch, but he flashes away, ignites sa pack. Iringi-ding-dong mo na yung bell na yan as Hunter gets the kill, and John 1 might be next. Great knockup coming in, but that's not gonna be a stun. Cavalry on the side though, Swag Dab Dab gets a kill, at mukhang papasukin pa niya. That true shot barrage won't land, or hindi ba niya tinawag, medyo hindi ko nakita sa camera yon. But then again, Essence Shift will be available in a few seconds. He tries to go for the Sejuani, but the Qs won't land, and he has to back off.
Yes, 1 for 3. Azure Eagles will call it quits for now. Just gonna regroup, reset. But yeah, still interesting pushes coming in from our veteran squad here. And yeah, as I was trying to say earlier, a lot of the pickoffs that LG Esports got was, how do I put it? When they're able to successfully isolate targets and get optimal damage onto whoever they try to pick off, especially the more squishier targets, because Tenno as well as Swag Dab Dab definitely going to be susceptible to a lot of the pain that both Nestle and Couch can bring from this Camille as well as LeBlanc, respectively. Especially with the sets that they could establish, again, with the Sejuani and Nami that they have on the table.
Yeah, the only thing protecting this Lux would always be the barriers from the W and the barrier on a summoner spell as well. Every time up ang flash ni Tenno, that's the only time that they can actually call it safe to, let's say, start a team fight. And I don't even recommend that they start a team fight. They have the edge on picking out champions without Lux. Hindi nila kailangan mag all-out 5v5. The moment may matamaan si Lux, just focus on that one person then leave. Especially if it's a LeBlanc or a Misfortune. And if ever makuha mo yung 4v5, na yon, kadiring damage! Di mo man lang ako binigyan ng 2 segundo para i-cast yun. Couch getting a kill on the AD carry of AZE.
No time to respond whatsoever. Couch is just hurting like there's no tomorrow. Whenever, like I said, just try to look for those squishier targets and snap, instant assassination.
Parang pinakitaan tayo ng Thanos snap dun ni Couch. Bigla niyang, that's a double distortion, I guess, with a Sigil of Malice as well. That's why sumabog talaga yung HP, plus the Electrocute. And this is an Ezreal we're talking about. Even if you have the safety of an Essence Shift, LeBlanc is still LeBlanc. One of those champions that you do not want to see if you're an AD carry.
Right. Looks like we are seeing red side slowly converging towards this dragon. They definitely want to try to get that set. We'll catch out this all-star.
There you go. That's gonna be no ultimate burnt yet for Hunter, but he does walk away with his life. Too tanky to spend time on, as the dragon will be spawning next within the next 20 seconds. Pero alam mo na, huling-huli pa ako eh. Kakasabi ko next 20 seconds kasi nakita ko yung yellow timer doon, pero nag-pause. Tapos nakita natin yung dragon dun sa lens. So hindi pala 20 seconds, 5 seconds na lang pala. Sorry.
Both sides, in which case, already leering towards this dragon. Everybody is going to be in the vicinity. Whether or not we'll see an explosive fight break out between these two sides, we'll find out in just a bit. Looks like the pause is down, and back to the ball game we go. Dragon time, let's go.
Ayun na nga, nandito na ang ating Ocean Drake, and looks like LG already established a good vision control over there. Dadalawa pa control wards nila doon sa Pixel Brush. Medyo naninigurado ata.
Sneaky. Looks like nobody's really going the full commit just yet. Teleport coming in from Fupi as well, just to make sure that they have the full 5 numbers.
Tidal Wave lands on 2 pero sa tank lang tumama. Great ultimate coming from Misfortune, but the red team actually, that's gonna be LG stealing away that dragon. 2 Ocean Drakes on their hand right now, but look at this, Nestle low on HP, but that's gonna be Hunter getting killed by Nestle as well. The flash is burned for Zen, and that's gonna be his 5th kill of the game as Couch is forced to distort away. The dragon goes to LG, but the fight goes to AZE.
Ooh, 1 for 3. Whether or not the more kills or the dragon is your cup of tea, we'll find out. But based on what we're seeing here, though, Azure Eagles leering towards this Baron, and looks like they will start it off. Couch trying to look for a target, but only finds the tanky Poofy, backs away for now. This is going to be juicy should the Azure Eagles pull this off.
This is a dangerous task for Couch if ever he wants to pull off an assassination. That's gonna be a great snare coming in from Tenno, and the bubble lands only on the Maokai. Nakapwesto na dito si LeBlanc sa likod at mukhang mahuhuli siya dito ng Maokai. He has to double distort away. The heal is burned as well, and looks like Baron will be going to the hands of AZE as they secure it 25 minutes in.
Love the half turning around from Azure Eagles just to make sure that Couch couldn't do anything significant towards delaying or denying Azure Eagles of that dragon. And all said and done, mission accomplished for them. This is going to be a very interesting push coming in from Azure Eagles should they play their cards right. LG Esports, they're on the defensive.
Yeah, 26 minutes in, nakuha nga ng LG Esports ang second Drake of the game, which means wala pa ring soul pressure. But the Baron buff, the fight that they lost after that, which resulted to the Baron, I would say that it's great shot calling as well coming in from AZE. And that's where usually pag veteran makikita mo talaga eh. But let's not discount the fact that Zen has a lot of experience as well. Not only playing for ADMU but playing for Naga as well. So true. Zen is one of those shot callers that you would really want on your team. At sinabi na nga niya, pinaka-poging player daw sa Pong ADMU. Meron ka na kang shot caller, meron ka pang poster boy. We're 27 minutes inside of this game. We're already 6K. Actually, this is already a 6K goal lead from the side of AZE. 2 Drakes for each team. It looks like the turret for the bottom lane will go down.
Yes, the push is on. Take note, Nestle is trying to shove out topside. Teleport is up for him though, should any shenanigans happen. There we go!
No, that's just a quick kill from Zen. Couch is already down and the Baron empowered minions are marching in. This is a bad time for LG right now as AZE looks to have no mercy for the Youngbloods.
Not at all. Whether or not Azure Eagles is looking for the picture perfect finish just yet, looks like they're not going to go straight. They're going to take it systematically instead, transition towards that mid lane. No rush whatsoever. Let's go ahead and deny LG Esports more of these objectives. But first and foremost, can we get a Sejuani? Nope. Let's just go straight back to the push.
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, this Camille hasn't done any turrets as of now. First turret pa lang nandito, and I'm not quite sure in why. You are trading a first-tier turret in the top lane for an inhibitor in the mid lane. This is already a win for AZE in this trade-off. And for I guess yun yung pinakamakuha nila. I guess they already surrendered the fact that they can't fight in a 4v5 scenario, so they would rather get at least 1 turret. That's one thing good, I guess. I'm not quite sure on what shot calling are they do.
Right, but okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great engage coming in from LG, and looks like that's gonna be under trap. Great engage indeed. Wala talagang nakuha ang AZE doon.
Yeah, going back to the comparison though, I mean, as far as the trade-off, 2 inhibitors versus 1 first-tier turret, that's like trading off a regular McDo French fries for the super Big Mac value meal that Azure Eagles got. Whether or not I'm craving for fast food right now, I'll leave that up to you guys.
Not sponsored, by the way.
Not
but
sponsored.
Speaking of the time right now, Dragon will be spawning a few minutes from now, and tignan natin kung sino makakakuha ng ating 5th Dragon of the game. Pantay ang ating Drake score as of now, but for the gold lead, medyo lumalaki na ang gold lead ng AZE, but still, hindi pa naman wala sa laro ang LG. Again, we're looking at a Sejuani Misfortune. One good set, one good Hextech ultimatum can turn around a fight with that bullet time.
Ooh. Slowly veering in. Looks like Azure Eagles are poising themselves for that next dragon. And LG Esports not really in the best position to respond, especially with these two super minion waves just constantly pushing onto them. So I think this is going to be a very easy take for Azure Eagles. Once again, great build up in which case.
Yeah, and this is gonna be an easy Drake for the side of LG. Actually, AZE, and mukhang hahamunin siya ng 1v1. Hextech ultimatum is called, but John Juan is there as well. The stun will land as the ultimate is called for Fupi. Professor Fupi, mukhang ito na ang huling araw mo. As the hookshot will land and the true damage will as well. As there's gonna be a shutdown kill for the Maokai's first death of the game, 30 minutes in.
Paano ba grading system ng ADMU? Are they like 1.0 highest, or I'm not really sure.
Di ko alam pero alam ko pag pinatay mo daw si Pupi sa laro na to, bagsakan na kung prof mo siya eh.
I hope that none of the players of LG Esports have Pupi as a professor or else. Kidding aside.
Ano mo, ginank mo ako sa top lane eh. Alam mo, may extra homework ka sa akin. Okay. Mo, may presentation ka sa online classes natin. Sasayaw ka sa Discord server.
Patay tayo dyan. Oh, okay, there you go. The set is coming in.
Yeah, and actually, there will be a great snare coming in for ADC 123. Medyo kailangan na mag-back, but the bullet time will land only on 2. Great dash coming in from Zen, as it looks like the first member that will die for the side of LG would be Nestle. The flash is burned for ADC. This might be it. If mamatay si ADC, they have to call this off.
Exactly. The push in and
Oopie with the teleport dash to the W, getting a kill.
Grabe.
It's so funny. It's so fast. It's like Groot with 6 Moby boots.
Walang ka-chill-chill si Sir Fupi dito sa game na to. And there you have it. Third inhibitor down for LG Esports. They're gonna need a hope and a prayer if they want to keep their dreams alive in this invitation.
Yeah, but looks like it won't be bullet time. It is down, and that's gonna be a great pulverize as well as Zen gets another kill already on a rampage. The Nexus is falling down as AZE schools the young bloods. Revenge time is sweeter.